Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. Today I am going to be doing a tutorial focusing mostly on the skin. I want to show you guys the products that I use to achieve a very glowy and bronzy look for summer. I feel like as long as you're glowy and bronzy in the summer, you don't really need to do much more than add like some mascara and a lip. I did do an eye look, just a quick eye look using the Too Faced Chocolate eye palette because it is one of my favorites, and I just wanted to show you my go-to look using the palette. It's very similar to a lot of looks that I've done, so I'm just gonna speed through it. But the main focus is going to be on the skin and how to achieve that natural bronze, dewy, glowy look that is just so beautiful in the summer. So stay tuned if you want to see this quick tutorial. Thank you so much for watching.
Hi everyone, so today we are going to use the L'Oreal Infallible Pro Matte Foundation. I'm mixing shades 105 and 108 to match my skin tone. This was the first time I had used this foundation, and I have to say personally I am not a fan. I have dry skin, and I think the Pro Matte formula just didn't work very well with my skin. It was also pretty hard to find a shade that matched me. That's why I'm using two completely different shades. And I just wasn't a fan, but so many people are, and you should try it out. It's kind of cheap. You might like it. I still would stick to the Milani foundation that I've raved about so many times. If you're going to get a drugstore foundation, that's just my opinion. But I'm applying that with a damp beauty blender and pouncing that into the skin so that it melds very nicely and looks pretty seamless. I always go on my ears and my neck to make sure there's no line. And then I have really dark circles lately, so I'm using the Maybelline Age Rewind concealer, and I just put that in the hollows of my eyes and then blend it out with a beauty blender as well. Once that is all blended out, I will go in with my Urban Decay Naked Weightless Concealer in the shade Light Medium, or I'm sorry, Light Neutral, and I put that in all the places I highlight: under the eyes, the nose, the forehead, the Cupid's bow, and the chin. And I apologize for my voice. I am trying to get over a cold currently. But I blend all of that out with my beauty blender as well and just start highlighting those parts of the face. Make sure you blend it out really well where it blends into the foundation, or else you will see a difference in the shade of the skin. You want it to be lighter, but you don't want it to be a stark difference. Then I'm going in with the Marc Jacobs Mirage filter, and I'm using the banana powder in that duo, and I'm just setting everywhere that I put the Urban Decay concealer. You can use any face powder brush, but I'm using the Morphe E50, and I'm also going over the eyes to prep them for putting shadow on in just a little bit. Now I'm going into my Cheekathon palette by Benefit, and I'm grabbing the Hoola bronzer, and I'm applying that with my e.l.f. blending brush. This is my favorite contouring brush. It has been for months, ever since I found it at Walmart. It's super cheap, and it's a great brush. So I'm using this to contour my cheeks and my forehead. This Hoola powder is forever going to be my favorite. It's just such a great shade for any skin tone, in my opinion, and it is a great contour powder. You can use it to bronze as well, but I have a favorite bronzing powder that I go over my contour with. So this is just the first step. For the forehead, I take that same brush and I just rub it up into the hairline, and I bring it down quite a bit because I have a large forehead. If you have a smaller forehead, you won't want to bring it down as much, but this creates an illusion of making your forehead smaller. And then I take whatever is left on the brush and I chisel out my chin with that. That gets rid of double chins or anything else down there. And then I'm taking my Lorac TANtilizer Big Bronzer in the shade Golden Glow on my MAC 135 brush, which is my favorite bronzer brush. And I'm just taking that over my contour and bronzing up the skin even more. Just move the brush back and forth, up and down, until you have the desired bronziness and deepness to the skin tone that you want. Now I'm going in with my Wet n Wild ColorIcon Apri-Cot in the middle blush. I always start on the apple of the cheek and blend backwards toward the ear, and I will overlap on my contour line just a little bit so that it blends seamlessly. So just apple of the cheek back toward the ear and overlap on your contour line a little bit, and you will get a perfect contour blush. And then lately I've been putting blush on the top of my nose. In the summer I feel like it adds just a lot of bronzy slash, like a little burnt feel to the nose, like you've been out, like a sun-kissed look is I guess what I'm trying to say. Now I'm going in with my favorite product of the month. This is the Cover FX Custom Enhancer Drops in the shade Sunlight. I just put that on my finger and dab it into the skin. It dries really quickly, so you want to use it on each part and then dab it in as soon as you apply it. So I put it on with my finger, then I dab it in with a beauty blender, and then I move on to the other cheek, because if you let it sit there, it'll dry exactly as you've applied it, and you'll see like the little fingerprints, which you absolutely don't want. You want it to look natural. So go in with that beauty blender as soon as you can. And this just creates such a beautiful glow, and it looks like it would be really insane, but it actually looks almost the most natural of anything I've ever used once you put it in with the damp beauty blender. And then I'm just going to use my finger in the same way and do that on the nose and the Cupid's bow as well. I use my finger on the Cupid's bow, and then I decided that it was too big, and I went in with the pointed side of my beauty blender, and that worked out perfectly. Just a little tip. This product is really pricey. I think it's $42 and you get like 0.5 ounces, but it is so amazing, and you only have to use one droplet for the entire face. I think it's totally worth it, and I just am loving it this summer. Now I'm going in with my Hourglass Ambient Lighting Powder in the shade Luminous Lights just to highlight the forehead and the chin. I don't like this to be too intense, and this is just a veil of highlight. Now I'm going into my eyes. I just did my eyebrows and one of my eyes off camera. I'm going into the Too Faced Chocolate Bar palette and taking Salted Caramel out of that palette first as a transition color. Then I'm going into Milk Chocolate. This is just a little bit of a deeper brown, and blending that into the crease. And then I'll go into Semi Sweet, which is an even darker brown, and I'll blend that into the crease, a little onto the lid, and I'm mostly focusing that on the outer V. This is just going to smoke out the lid. And then I'm going into the most beautiful shade in the palette called Marzipan, and I'm taking a flat shader brush. I think this is a MAC 242, and with MAC Fix Plus, I'm spritzing that and putting that all over the lid and then on the inner corner. And then in the same sequence, I'm going to take a tapered blending brush, and I'm going to apply Salted Caramel to my lower lash line, followed by Milk Chocolate, and then ending with Semi Sweet, just like we did on the top. That's going to smoke out the lower lash line and give you a very nice eye look. Now I'm going into White Chocolate and highlighting my brow bone with that. I'm using a Wet n Wild shader brush. And then I'm going in with Costa Riche by MAC, and I am just putting that on my waterline. I did it out of focus, of course, because I get so close to the mirror, so I apologize that most of it's not on camera. Then I'm using the Too Faced Better Than Sex Waterproof Mascara, just doing a light coat on my lashes. And then we're going to put on our House of Lashes Iconics that I put on pretty much in every tutorial because they're my favorite. I only got one eye on camera. We're working in baby steps. I normally don't get either on camera, so bear with me. I always use tweezers to apply them. You can use your fingers as well if you're not comfortable with tweezers. I just feel like tweezers works best. Now I'm going in with the shade Aquarius. This is a Lippy Sticks by ColourPop, and it is a beautiful nude shade, one of my favorites for sure. And that is going to complete this look. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed how to get this glowy skin, and I will see you in my next one. Bye.